Do your electrical switch boxes have the required neutral white wire available in it for Wi-Fi switch use? All popular Wi-Fi switches require this white colored wire to power the switch's electronics. Before you order your Moes Wi-Fi switch, please contact a licensed electrician or follow these basic instructions to confirm your new Wi-Fi switch can be properly installed. It is suggested that before you attempt any of the instructions in this video, you view all the enclosed steps first in its entirety. Have a non-contact voltage tester with you. Purchase one on Amazon or any home center, and check the box before you touch any wires in it. It is possible for more than one circuit to run through the same box. You may have to turn off more than one circuit breaker, so always assume there could be additional live hot wires in the box. Call a licensed electrician if you have any doubt you can safely perform these steps. Before using any electrical detection device such as a probe-type detector or meter, it is good practice to test it first on a known live circuit to prove it is working properly. For the non-contact probe-type voltage sensor described earlier, you need only to bring the probe's tip near a voltage-carrying power cord, such as from your toaster. If the sensor is working correctly, it should indicate voltage. Read the voltage sensor instructions before using it so you know what to expect. Before starting, turn on the switch you wish to replace or check if your electrical box contains the required white neutral wire. Next, turn off the circuit breaker switch and confirm the room lights are now turned off. First, remove the switch plate by removing the two screws. Remove the two screws that are holding the switch to the electrical box. After removing the screws holding the switch tabs to the electrical box, hold the top and bottom tabs of the switch at the same time. Carefully pull the switch straight out, just enough to give you access to the screw terminals on the side. This should be about 2 inches. To confirm you have selected the correct circuit breaker to shut off the power, turn on your voltage detector and touch its plastic tip near the wires traveling to each of the screw terminals, where the wires are connected. The following video demonstrates what you will encounter if you fail to correctly turn off the power. If your detector senses voltage, it should glow red and buzz, depending upon model. Stop, recheck your circuit breakers, and repeat your check for voltage. There are 2 wires, plus a ground wire going to your old conventional switch. These wires can be of various colors. The ground wire, if your installation has one, will be either a bare copper wire or a green plastic insulated wire. We need to identify which wire going to the switch is the live wire and which is the load wire. The live wire may be marked with a small piece of tape around the insulation, and/or it will be attached to the brass-colored screw. The other wire is the load wire and is attached to the silver or black-colored screw. You are now looking for one or more wires that are insulated white inside the enclosure. Typically held together by a wire nut, This is the white neutral wire connection that is required for your Wi-Fi installation to proceed. Sometimes the neutral wires are difficult to locate in an enclosure, as they may be in the very rear of the box or behind other wire bundles. If you are installing the switch in a multi-gang enclosure that has other switches next to it, you may need to also pull out those switches, as the neutral bundle may be hidden behind them. With the wires disconnected from the old switch, your next step will be to carefully pull out the bundle of white neutral wires we identified previously. Remove the wire nut and use the supplied short length of white wire and attach it to the neutral wire bundle. After tightening the wire nut, give it a slight tug to confirm it's attached properly. Place a small piece of tape on the live hot wire to identify it if it does not have one. Before you begin, first loosen each of the switch's set screws until you feel some resistance. Don't take the screws out of the switch. Let's now attach each wire to your new Wi-Fi switch. Insert the live, hot, black wire into the switch's rear hole marked Live and tighten its screw firmly with a screwdriver. Next, insert the load black wire into the switch's rear hole marked Load and tighten its screw firmly. Next, insert the neutral white wire into the switch's rear hole marked Neutral and tighten its screw firmly. Lastly, insert the ground green wire into the switch's rear hole marked Ground and tighten its screw firmly. You have now completed your wiring of the switch. It should match this diagram. Please double check that all your wires are securely being held in the switch. Your next step will be to insert your new Wi-Fi switch into the electrical enclosure. Some enclosures have more room than others, depending on its size and how many other wires are in the box. You may need to carefully fold the wires behind the switch and push them into the box until you can make the switch fit entirely inside it. Once done, you may now replace the screws that hold the switch in place and then replace the switch plate. You are now ready to turn your circuit breakers back on. Test to confirm the Wi-Fi switch operates by manually depressing its momentary rocker. Your next step is to download the Smart Life app to your phone. Follow the instructions in the app to connect your new Wi-Fi switch to your home's router and Alexa or Google devices.